Good afternoon. It is Friday, May 15th. I just got off work. Checked my email. It looks like 9 minutes before I got off work, my last computer part should have been delivered to my mom's. I'm gonna call her and make sure that's actually true, and if so, I'm gonna head over and get that, and we'll have all of the parts for the computer finally. Won't that be sweet? We've been waiting for so long. Yay. And radiator acquired. As well as the Pathfinder rulebook. Final computer part has arrived. Let's get it home. So yeah, I got the new Pathfinder 2nd edition core rulebook. I mean, I'd say new, but you know, it's probably a year old. Oh, yeah. And also all of the parts to build my new computer. Now, it being Friday after work, it's already like 6 o'clock. I don't think I'm gonna build the computer today. I think I'm gonna build the computer tomorrow. But I figured today we could just go over what's going into it, so that part's being covered, and we can just dive into it tomorrow. So yeah, let's go over what I bought. To start, I figure let's go with the things that don't actually go into the computer. I got a Unitech, whatever, made in Hong Kong. I got an external card reader because the case doesn't have a spot to put one in it unless I want it in the back, and I don't. So, card reader. I also got a Blu-ray writer, a Zeus Turbo Drive external 16 times, which is basically just a box. It is an external casing for a Blu-ray burner because I tend to burn off a lot of my extra files onto discs, and so I want to be able to do that. This will make it where I can, you know, since I don't have a spot in the front to put a disk drive, this will let me still do it on this computer, but will also, of course, let me have it on top of the desk, so it should also be just easier to access. So both of those are moving some things that used to be under the desk to on top of the desk, and letting them be easy to access. Those don't actually go on the computer, but they are components I bought for this. Now some more kind of boring but necessary components. I got OEM version of Windows 10 because I need an operating system. I have a 1 terabyte Western Digital Blue solid state drive. Should have a box opener, shouldn't I? So this will be where operating system, software, whatever goes. We have this here. Never have enough USB ports. And this time I got extra USB 3.0 because my last computer had 2. Ah, that was not enough. Just PCIe card, adding 4 USB 3.0 ports. I don't know what I've gotten from Rosewill in the past, but in general I tend to get things from brands that I recognize that I've used before, and that's where that came in. This gray box, or not gray, brown box, has my 4 terabyte Western Digital Red NAS hard drive. It's like a hard drive designed for server environments, and I looked up, well, what does that mean? It means on 24/7, 365, and I'm like, oh, well, that's my computer, so figure I should have that. So, not the most exciting things, but definitely necessary. Let's go into some main components. Let's bring out this boy. I got the Aorius Z390 Aorius Ultra Gaming Motherboard, LGA 1551, blah blah blah. I will leave this in here if you want to really see what it looks like in detail. We'll do that when I'm actually building the thing. But it has, you know, the ports for the solid state drive. It has built-in Wi-Fi. All sorts of fun stuff. We just take this whole little caddy out here and keep it safe. That's motherboard. It has a bunch of stickers, so you can put stickers on stuff, and we got our manuals and things. I think it should, yeah, it should have all sorts of stuff here. Screw, some cable ties. Okay, we have a wireless, like, antenna for the Wi-Fi, so I can plug it into the back of the motherboard and put the antenna somewhere where it can get a good signal. Whatever. Connections, screws. Each individual screw is packaged separately. Like, each separate screw has its own little bag. SATA cables. Not actually sure. Other cables. Here. This thing is awesome. The G connector, which is basically all of the little connections at the front of, the case, all get plugged into itty bitty little spots on the motherboard. Little bitty things that are all way too close together in a way too tight of a space. This allows you to plug them all in to this thing and then just plug this one thing in. So much easier. That was literally one of the things that helped sell me on at least this brand of motherboard. I'm like, that, having put together a lot of computers at a computer shop, that's gonna make life easier. That is a quality of life improvement right there. Then, along the lines of that, we also got a graphics card. Gigabyte GeForce RTX 2080 Super Gaming OC White 8 GB or 8G, whatever. In there. Gigabyte. Manuals and discs and stuff in here. And whew, that is a beefy graphics card. Twin fans that are designed to alternate how they blow so they're not interfering with each other. 3 display port, 1 HDMI port for up to 4 monitors. Big and beefy, and it's white, which should look beautiful in our case. Processor, very crucial. I went with the Core i7 Intel 9th generation. Processor. I mean, it's a processor, it's not going to look fancy. But definitely important to the build. I had an i7 in my last computer, although that was a 1st generation. And I looked at it as like, I didn't need an i9. i7 should do plenty good for what I do. I guess we will go into the power supply next, just because it is the last thing that doesn't have, well, that isn't somehow connected. Although it is the same brand as the last components. It's actually the first thing I got, because this one I had to go pick up from locally. I didn't get it online. But that's whatever it is. But the power supply is white. Doesn't really matter, because that should actually be hidden behind stuff. We have white cable ties, which if I need them, will be nice. This is nice that this comes in a bag. One of the things I particularly like on a power supply is this. Here's all the connections. No cables sticking out of it. All the cables are separate. If you need the cable, you connect it and you run it through the computer. If you don't need the cable, you don't connect it. It doesn't take up space in your case. But, no, I was going to point out, the more important than this being white, all of these are white, and these will actually be running through the case as I run power through it. So that was particularly of note. But yeah, so yeah, this having a bag is neat because there will be some cables that get left in there. I will not need all of them. But obviously you want to store them in case you need them later. But yeah, the RM750X is the 750 watt, which is a little bit more than what I really need, but I figure better to have more than I need than less. So this is a LL120 RGB fan by Corsair. Pretty fan, simple white fan with lights that can control with IQ system, however that works. So I'm going to be figuring that out. Then we have the Corsair Hydro Series H100i RGB Platinum SE Extreme Performance 240mm RGB liquid CPU cooler. I have never done liquid cooling in a computer ever. It is scary. Now this is an internal radiator. It's an internal system. You know, you connect this to the CPU. Here are two more of those same fans. And it has this radiator that connects to the top of the case. And it should all be just in there. Hardware to attach it. Sure, cables to let it check temperature and all that as it goes. But that's a little bit, this is actually one of the things that is most scary for me, because this is most foreign for me in a computer build. I've never done any liquid cooling, but I'm like, okay, an internal system is probably a good starting spot. The fact that it will match everything was part of what tempted me to it and made me think about it. But yeah, so there's that. Even our RAM. Which is also by Corsair. We got 2 sticks of 16 gigabyte RAM, so 32 gigabytes. My previous computer had 4 sticks of 4 gigabytes, so it had 16 total. This is already doubling what I've had previously. This RAM has that IQ and has lights in it. It's white, it'll match everything, it'll be beautiful. But also, it's doubling everything, and if I could have gotten 4 sticks of 8 gigabytes to get 32 gigabytes for the same price. But if I do this, then say a year down the line, if I want, I can buy this again and double what I have. And I'm like, yes, please. And now, the case. This case is really been like, because it's what I'm going to see, it's been the one that's been the most tempting to break into while I've been waiting for things to arrive. But it is the IQ 465X RGB mid-tower smart case by Corsair with a white finish and a glass panel with those same lights, or the same fans with lights that you see right there. Alright. You know, this one is probably the one that's going to not be easier to see from above. So, let's get this bag off of it. So let's take you down. And there she is. Ain't she a beaut? Now, has things like this on the top, like there's where the radiator will attach, and obviously it could be different sizes. But this thing has magnets to attach, and it will basically filter the air coming through. Likewise, which is new to me, likewise it does have one of these filters for the fan for the power supply, which I am accustomed to. There's of course clear plastic over the glass here. I'll leave it there until everything's put together, of course. There are 3 more of those same fans. Same RGB LEDs that connect to the iCUE system. And the idea with the iCUE system is I should be able to like let it do like light effects that go across the computer, from what I understand. Which I may just set it to be blue and call it a day. But maybe not, I don't know. Anyways, back panel is where all of the cables will be hidden, as well as access to the hard drives that will go underneath here. Because this is a big, wide open area inside. This is exciting. You know, like there you can see options for cables to go up there and to come out there and there in different spots. Of course, on top and in front we have this panel here that blocks in here, but there's airflow from the sides, and this thing with the cross braces here is another filter like up top. In addition to power and reset, we have our mic headphones and 2 USB 3.0 on the case. Awesome. So like I said, the plan is to build the computer tomorrow. So I've gone over what's going into it, so I don't have to remember while I'm trying to build it to show off the box, mention the names. If you want to know what's in the computer, that's today. Those are the components. Of course, you can let me know if you think I picked out a good option or not. Feel free to comment. And if you're only interested in the computer, then come back tomorrow, because now it's just back to me and my life for the rest of the day. First thing of which I will show is how I set up the camera for that shot. Because I just took my monopod, and I put the camera on the end of it, and I taped it to my laundry drying rack here, and then it was too heavy, especially with the camera on it, so I hung my jacket on the far end to balance it out. I thought I did pretty clever to be able to get that up there. I don't know if I'll do that again for building it tomorrow, or now that everything's out, I might just point it forward at the case and build it upright. I don't know. I haven't decided. But this is finally happening, and I'm very excited for that, because it's been a few weeks of trying to, well, really a month at least, of making the decision, am I going to do this at this point? And then a few weeks of buying the parts, waiting for things to come in. I'm excited. And it's good that I'm excited, because I just spent a lot of money on computer parts. I better be excited about it. And even once I build it, it will take me a bit before I like phase out the old computer from what I'm currently doing on it. For example, I'll be returning to game with my buddies, and I have like probably 2 more sessions in my current campaign. I plan to leave things set up to the point where I can still record those, like basically finish it up with the existing system before I move on to the next one. Like, so I'm not going to move anything to edit my gaming videos over there yet, because I want to be able to finish editing over what I currently have. I basically want to be able to finish up that series of videos with nothing changing, because already in the last couple episodes the background of the video is going to change because I redid the shelves. I don't want to risk further changes. Okay, that took a lot of energy. Let's turn down the AC and think about what's for dinner. And so I made some chicken pasta for dinner. It's one of the things that Mom had brought me from Costco, was like a pre-made dish for that. So heated that up. Looks quite scrumptious. And then from that to bed, because it's actually quite a bit later. A couple hours got wasted in between when I was like, I should make dinner, and when I actually did. Nick and Ryan ended up on Discord, so I talked to them for a while. But it was nice. At this point, I've heard from everyone other than Austin, and while it does not look like we'll be available for we won't be gaming this weekend, as long as Austin's cool with it, the hope is next weekend that we'll be able to finish off the game. So I'm gonna eat my dinner and go to bed, because it's like 10 o'clock now, and it's late, I'm tired. And, I mean, I did get all the computer parts today, so the plan will be to build the computer tomorrow. So join us here as my journey continues with that tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.